The Vietnam War didn't end with a victory parade. It ended with negotiations, broken promises, and a city falling. Let's break down how the USA eventually got out of Vietnam. By the early 1970s, US officials recognized that military victory was no longer achievable. The 1968 Tet Offensive had exposed the vulnerability of US strategy. Public opposition was growing and Congress was increasingly unwilling to continue funding the war. Nixon, hoping to appear as a peacemaker ahead of the 1972 election, pushed for peace talks. Negotiations had begun in Paris in 68 but were repeatedly delayed. The 27th of January 1973, the USA, North Vietnam, South Vietnam all signed the Paris Peace Agreement. It included a ceasefire, full military withdrawal from the US, release of prisoners of war, no foreign interference, and elections to decide Vietnam's future. The USA also agreed to contribute to post-war reconstruction. However, the agreement didn't really have any enforcement. South Vietnam's president, Thieu, was excluded from key negotiations, and the North Vietnamese viewed the treaty as a short-term strategy. Fighting resumed in 1974, with Congress refusing to authorise more military aid, and the South was left exposed. On the 30th of April 1975, Saigon fell to North Vietnamese, and by July 1976, Vietnam was reunified under communist rule. The cost of the war for the USA had been $167 billion. Over 58,000 US soldiers died, 75,000 were permanently disabled, and around 850,000 veterans experienced long-term psychological trauma. So the Paris Peace Agreement ended US involvement, but not the war. For Vietnam, peace only came with reunification under communism. For America, the scars lasted far longer. As ever, remember to like, share, and follow Revise More History for more GCSE, USA, home and abroad tips.